Hello everybody, welcome to Loket in Czech Republic here. It's round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. The racetrack here overlooking this beautiful picturesque town of Loket itself. 12th century Gothic church right there dominates the centre of town. And as you can imagine, just awash with beautiful bars and restaurants and little side streets and all of that. But it is a beautiful part of the world to host round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. My name is Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us for our live broadcast today. Temperatures just starting to creep up. The warmest day of the weekend so far, 23 degrees. The atmosphere building as well. And the circuit is in pretty good nick, has to be said. Just under 1,600 metres long. We've had plenty of water down throughout the course of the day, but for MXGP Race 1, it should be nigh on perfect. It's a 100-metre long start straight, down into turn 1, an uphill tight 180 left, and then a few corners later, we hit the finish line to start sector 1, then sector 2 that drops down and to the bottom end of the circuit, sector 3 coming back the other way, back towards the start, and then sector 4, just as you jump onto the start straight and back towards the finish line area. Jorge Prado was your winner here last year in the MXGP category. Mattia Guadagnini was victorious in MX2. Are we going to see any of those two on the podium here today, I wonder? Well, our view overlooking the racetrack here. And that's what it looks like. The old drone cam, you know, this weekend from the moon just gives you a proper perspective, doesn't it, of the racetrack here. But that's the view from the racetrack. If you're over on to sort of turn 2, looking down or higher, like we do have one of our cameras. But the atmosphere here really starting to build as Tim Geiser leads the championship, 125 points clear of Jorge Prado. Jeremy Seawer is 5 points behind him, and then we've got Maxime Renault and Glenn Koldenoff rounding out the top 5. Before we go anywhere, though, let's take a quick look behind the scenes. Our crew was following the Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 team. And, of course, they are well placed in the MX2 World Championship. So, without any further ado, let's go take a look and see how things panned out there, shall we?
So the Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2 team came into the 2022 season as the defending champions. You know, Maxime Renault was here last year, and that sets the bar. You know, there's a lot of pressure involved with that, but we've got two guys who are very capable.
Yeah, it's again an exciting year. This is the third year in a row now that we're battling for the title. Thiago he showed many times that many GPs that he's fastest on the track. Thibaut, I had a big injury at the end of last season, so he missed the 3 first GPs this year. He's doing better and better every GP.
My first GP victory was, yeah, for sure amazing. I knew it, I think, in the last 2 laps. Of course, I was thinking about when I was riding, but I was not sure about my calcul. So, yeah, when I see it on the board, I was quite happy. To win is the main goal. When you do it, you feel stronger and help you for the next races. If you can win it with to start with the guys and that everything is going normal, nothing special happen, a crash on the start, or just to start and to make all the race with the favorite guys, make the victory better, I think.
Thibaut and Iago are two very, very different riders, two very, very different characters. With Thibaut, he's probably the most relaxed rider I've ever worked with. He knows that it's within himself, you know, he's one of the most talented riders in the world, hands down. You've got Iago, who's very, very closed, he keeps to himself. If you speak to him, there's not a lot of emotion coming out, but when things don't go his way, he's not angry as in he doesn't go and destroy everything or really outwardly angry, but in his eyes.
round 13. The FIM CMS director hands the championship leaders red plate to Jago Geerts. He's back in control.
As we've seen so many times this season, the red plate changing hands between Jago Geerts and
Tom Vial. This time it's Vial who takes the red plate to round 13. Loket in the Czech Republic in 3 weeks' time.
I just really love motocross. I love riding. That's my main motivation. The feeling of getting on the podium and getting the win is just something really special, and it's really nice when you can experience that. I will just do everything I can to reach my goal and try to fight for the title this year again.
Behind the scenes then of Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MX2. Look up definition of crazy, and you'll see motocross fans anywhere in the world. And these guys are definitely living up to that here this weekend. MXGP Race 1 just around the corner, 30 minutes plus 2 laps, round 13 of the FI Motocross World Championship. And here we are in Czech Republic, circuit of Loket. MX2 riders making their way from the sighting lap. Anyway, one rider who will not be lining up behind the steels today, Ruben Fernandez. He had a big crash in time practice. Here's what he had to say.
We are almost ready for the first MXGP race of the day, but quickly I really want to speak to Team Honda 114's Ruben Fernandez. Ruben, sadly you won't be lining up for both races today. Just give us an update.
Well, as some might know, I had a crash on time practice yesterday. It was quite a gnarly one. Got some stitches on my elbow, and the rest of my body is feeling pretty sore, so I won't be able to line up today, but I feel I'm positive that I will be back soon, so yeah, we'll see how I improve, and we'll see when we come back.
It's a tough one really, isn't it? Because, you know, the second half of this season, potentially you could have been fighting for fourth in the championship. We weren't really expecting Maxime Renaud to be back this weekend. Podiumed in Indonesia, you were on form. Like, it found like you really found your flow. Disappointing one, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking on the top 5, top 4 spot on the championship, of course. And, you know, I was feeling good as I came from the podium in Indonesia. Also, on the practice, I was feeling fast and well with the track. Also with my riding, with everything. But, you know, it was just a little mistake that ended up my day. And you know, this is motocross, so we got to deal with it and move forward.
Ruben, we wish you a speedy recovery and hope to see you back soon. Thank you. Now here on the MXGP grid, we have a special guest at the motocross. We have Marcel Schotter. Marcel, riding in Moto2 this year. Just tell us quickly, firstly, how's your season going so far?
Yeah, it's going quite good. I started off the season not in the perfect way. I got injured just a week before the first race, and we had a few little problems with the bike in the first few races, but then step by step getting better and trying to, well, fighting for podiums and victories now. And yeah, it's so far so good, but going to be better the second part of the season.
So you're here at the MXGP at Czech Republic. Why are you here in Czech Republic? Why this race? And tell us a little bit about your experience with motocross.
Well, because it's actually the closest one, I think, to my house. I'm from like the south of Germany, Munich area, so even the German Deutschland race is quite far. So it's closer coming here or to Arco or wherever. And yeah, off weekend, we are in the summer break, so I just rode yesterday myself, and yeah, came to this track last night, and yeah, actually my first time. Well, I've been once when I was 10 or 12, but it's a long time ago, so no, I really enjoy being here.
But you train in motocross as well, don't you, as many Moto2 riders do?
Yeah, I really enjoy motocross. I mean, it's so different, but it's such a cool sport, and I love it. And I would like to do it even more, but yeah, kind of risky as well for us. But I really enjoy riding motocross, and watching these guys is impressive.
So have a great day. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 1.
Back live then, and of course MXGP race 1 just around the corner. But before we do, if you weren't with us yesterday, here's what happened in the qualifying race. Gates drop for the MXGP qualifying race Saturday afternoon. Charging into the first turn, Jeremy Seawer up the inside there with the GoPro number 91, his teammate to the outside. He just got pushed a little bit wider than he wanted to, though. As he emerged, Jeremy Seawer got 2 gas riders behind him, Guadagnini and Prado. Prado came down the hill first in second position, then Guadagnini. Geiser was there in about 5th or 6th place. And guess what? Geiser then made this neat move up the inside as Koldenhoff moved Guadagnini to the outside, caught both of them napping, and moved into 3rd place. Romain Febvre didn't make a great start. He found his way by the German Henry Jacobi to move into 13th, but eventually finished there as well. Glenn Koldenhoff tried to keep Geiser in his sights. He was in 4th, that's where he'd finished by the time the checkered flag fell. Tim Geiser then went after Jorge Prado, and around about the halfway point, finally he got better drive on the uphill drag towards Monster Energy Mountain, and on lap 7 of 13 he made that pass stick. Maxime Renault, back from injury, also made moves. He got himself in the 5th with that pass on Mattia Guadagnini. But then no one saw the danger from behind. Paul Jonas first past Guadagnini, and then late on in the race to find himself past Renault into 5th place, as Jeremy Seawer led every single lap of this qualifying race. Despite the close attentions of Tim Geiser for Team HRC, the Slovenian not able to do anything about Jeremy Seawer, who had 1 or 2 scary moments in the latter stages of the race. Geiser thought he could pounce, but he just ran out of time. Jeremy Seawer did hang on to take the win. That was Jonas getting the better of Maxime Renault on the final lap to take over 5th. But on the downhill towards the finish line, Jeremy Seawer with his first pole position, his first qualifying win in 2022. Geiser was 2nd, Prado was 3rd. Here's how the riders line up for MXGP Race 1 then. On pole for the first time this year, Jeremy Seawer, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory Racing, Tim Geiser, Team HRC, and the Red Bull Gas of Jorge Prado. Glenn Koldenhoff, Paul Jonas, Standing Construct Husqvarna, Maxime Renault, Mattia Guadagnini, and Mitch Evans. In 9th, the first of the factory Kawasaki's Ben Watson, and then the Gebbon Van Venrooy Yamaha of Calvin Belandren. Alberto Ferrato for SM Action Racing goes to line 11th. He's also back from injury. And then Jeremy Van Hoorbeek on the Beta SDM Corsa machine. He goes to line 12th. Had a Romain Febvre, Valentin Guillot on the IXS Hostetler Yamaha. And then Jordi Tixier's 911 KTM, Brian Boger's, Henry Jacobi, Patrell, and the rest. Tim Geiser lines up behind the gates, 2nd in the qualifying race. He has never won here. We'll be looking to change that stat today. Jeremy Seawer. Hi, Jeremy. Nice to meet you. He's ready as well. Qualifying race win under his belt for the first time this year. I believe that's Romain Febvre over on that very, very right-hand side. He's going to take a punt. 13th in the qualifying race. He's going to make a charge around the outside if all things go well. Mitch Evans lines up 8th. Good qualifying for the Australian. And Jorge Prado, the fastest man out of the gates this year, with 12 foxhole shots. He'll be looking for at least 1 more. Mattia Guadagnini, he was victorious in MX2 here a year ago. And Brian Bogers became a dad for the first time recently. The Standing Construct Husqvarna rider would love to make Brian Jr. proud, I'm sure. Right, 2 Kawasaki's, 1 in the centre of the grid, and that one right there, number 3, Romain Febvre, looking to take a chance around the outside as the Fly Racing 15-second board up for the first time today. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The MXGP of Czech Republic, round 13 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. Gate drops. Keeping my eye on Febvre and everybody else to the inside, and Febvre may get a good run, but he's just going to get pushed too wide there as it's a Yamaha. I think it was Seawer with a foxhole shot. If that's the case, it's his 2nd one of the season, but he's been passed already. heading into turn 2, and it's Jorge Prado who leads from Geiser. Prado in control then as they hit the line for the first time. Geiser is there in second. So Prado leads, Geiser second, Seawer third, Renault fourth, Koldenhoff in 5th place. Valana in 6th, Evans, Febvre, Guadagnini. Not a bad start that for Febvre. You see him there, bottom of his screen a moment ago. 3 Yamahas there, look, Seawer, Renault, Koldenhoff. Well, that's as they were. That's how they still are. Geiser goes to the inside. You know what? We're going to have a tricky racetrack here because it's dry. Probably the driest it's been all day today, so it's going to be loose and marbly and slick. Riders are really going to need to pay attention. There's Valandrin in there as well, in that 6th place. Well, Seawer tried to get over the berm there and have a go at Geiser, but to no avail. And Renault into the back of him as he looks to take third away from his teammate. I think Valandrin may get the better of Koldenhoff, Eno. Not quite. In fact, he loses out to Guadagnini, I think, or Evans. So Evans picking off Valandrin. And he almost gets undone there by the number 3 of Roman Febvre as well. All eyes on the battle for the lead. Jorge Prado, Tim Geiser. Oh, and Geiser triples in. There was a mistake there from Prado, you know. Tim Geiser has never won here. Jorge Prado is a 3-time winner around this racetrack. Who would you put your money on here? Watch this. Doesn't get the drive, and watch how close this was. Okay, not as close as I thought it was, but Geiser getting airborne when Prado didn't. Jeremy Seawer fancies this one, doesn't he? Sitting there in 3rd. Still got Renault and Koldenhoff behind him. Line astern, 4th and 5th. Then the flash of red, Team HRC. Wingman to Geiser. Mitch Evans in 6th, Valana in 7th, Febvre 8th, Guadagnini 9th, Jacobi up into 10th place, Watson in 11th now. And then we've got Van Horebeke, Bogas and Pacharel. Bogas finding his way past Pacharel to move into 13th, Van Donnick up to 15th. Then we've got Adam Sterry, Jed Beaton, Tixier, Martin Crutch and Albi Ferrato. See, we're getting closer to Geiser now, bottom of the hill. Couldn't get the distance there though, but he decides to go inside, and Geiser threatening the lead of Prado. Hard pack this week, deep sand of Lommel next week. Couldn't have any more contrast in the conditions that we're going to face over the next 2 weekends. Ah, back end lighting up on the rear wheel of Geiser through that right-hander, bottom of the hill. Chasing the dirt, trying to get the tyre in and hooking up. Again, Prado choosing not to triple, and Geiser very tight to the fence. Very tight to the fence. Try to make a move up the inside as well in turn 2. Didn't quite come off though. Normally, Geiser is very patient, and here he just seems desperate to find a way up front sooner rather than later. Two laps complete. Watson has back past Jacobi into 10th place. Van Donnick has found his way back past Pacharel as well, moves into 14th position. And Tixier has moved by Jed Beaton for 17th. The battle up front continues though. See, we're getting closer to Geiser. This is the jump where Fernandez had his big crash yesterday. Again, locking up to that inside. This time Seawer does go for the outside. And again, looks to get better drive. Geiser almost got caught there. He defends the outside here, keeps Siwa to his right elbow. And Jorge Prado getting caught all of a sudden once more. Oh, just tries to get at the inside. That was very close. A little bit of rubber on rubber. Not sure who would have come off worse there. Probably Siwa if they made contact. Now Prado decides to triple. Geiser a little bit further out from the fence this time around. Three laps complete when they hit the line this time around. The gap was 2/10 last time around. It's now 1.3 as Prado tries to pull clear from Geiser, who's having to deal with the threat from Siwa, who looks to switch line at the bottom of the hill here. Can he get on the gas? Yes, he does. Can't afford to leave the door open. Siwa now second. Geiser was not expecting it either. It's not often we see Geiser get caught napping and somebody pass him. Watch this here. Siwa down the inside, closed the door there, and he was quick to get across to the left-hand side. Got back on the gas, made the pass stick. That was Siwa up in the second. Look at that, just absolutely railed the berm there. Bottom of the hill, gave Geiser nowhere to go. Siwa now has his sights set on Prado and the race lead. The Red Bull Gas versus the Monster Energy Yamaha. Struggling with tear-offs there, though. And a massive overjump for Siwa over Monster Energy Mountain. I think Geiser's just going to take a breather at the moment. Because look at the gap between him and the two leaders now. Doesn't need to challenge these guys. He arrived here 125 points clear of Jorge Prado at the start of the day. That's 5 races advantage. Siwa cuts to the inside. Maxime Renault wants to join the party as well. Look, in 4th position. Oh, that was nice, but just slightly overjumped. Prado getting more drive than he expected there. Prado was fastest last time around of 49. Well, he goes fastest again, 49.1, and then a 48.3 for Jeremy Siwa, a 50.2 for Geiser. Fastest lap then to the Swiss rider. Maxime Renault 4th, Coldenhoff 5th, Evans 6th, Valandren, Fevre, Guadagnini and Watson ran out the top 10 ahead of Fogers, Van Hornbeek, Van Donnick, Paturel, Adam Sterry, Jordi Tixier, Jed Beaton, Albi Ferrato, Valentin Guillot and Henry Jacobi on the JM Honda. That's nice. Land and then bounce over the bumps. Jeremy Siwa. Slightly wider on the approach here just to open that corner up a little bit more. Got a nice little tidy rut there as well, hasn't he? And it slingshots him out of the turn and up and over the step up. Again, favours that outside line as Prado goes inside, but then he just wrestles with the bank. Cost himself a little bit of time there, Siwa. Again, struggling with tear-offs, isn't he? Look, he's got him flapping over on the right-hand side. I think what's happened is grabbed a handful, and they've all come off. There may be visibility issues later on for Jeremy Siwa. Fortunately, the track is not that wet, but it's frustrating when he's got him flapping over on the right-hand side like that. That's going to allow Geiser to close back in on him. Can't get the pull on the tear-offs through that triple there. Aren't really too many places. Monster Energy Mountain is about the only place. Because when you're chasing down the race leader, you're committing to the corners. You can't even relax at this stage. You're not in the air long enough here, but he's going to try, though. Again, look, he just gets there, and he's got to pull his hand back on the handlebar. Frustration for Jeremy Siwa. There, finally, gets rid of him. Now he can focus. But if he has grabbed all of those tear-offs, and we'll soon find out if he has or not, then the next thing is going to be avoiding the roost and not being able to see through the goggles, through the lens, because the dirt off the back of the gas ahead of him. There, look, bounce, bounce. Geiser just happy to sit back there in third place at the moment. He knows he's got Maxime Renault. Relatively close quarters. Is he going to cut back to the inside here? Yes, he does this time. Jeremy Seewer realises that he was losing too much time the last couple of laps. Front end just pouring the air there as he finds a little bit more traction than he bargained for, heading uphill. Working the whole of the track, though, isn't he? Outside, inside, really making Prado think outside of the box. And he'll go around the outside of the Spaniard here. He'll cut back, though, because the door gets shut in his face once more by the number 61. Is he going to go tight to the inside here on the exit? Yes, he does. Triples his way in. We've got a race on here, folks. Geiser just waiting in the wings as well. If these two trip each other up. Actually, it's a good lap for Geiser, I think. He put his fastest lap in last time, a 49.6. A tenth slower than Seewer last time around. And it's a 50.0 this time, so not as quick as I thought it would be, but once again, Seewer just untidy as he tried to replicate the move that got him past Geiser. $18 more minutes plus 2 laps of this, please, if you don't mind, guys. Ticks you out to 14th, Patrol 15, Gear up to 17, Sterry now in 18th place. Paul Jonas, 20th. What happened to him on the opening lap? Was he one of the guys that went down coming out of the first turn? The rider who qualified in 5th yesterday. Nothing in it between Prado and Seewer. Up and over Monster Energy Mountain once again. Again. High to the outside, cuts back. Again. Oh, to say that again, putting Prado under pressure. This time he cuts back, and he'll probably do the same again now. Yes, he does, and then cut across the right. Nah, look at those gnarly acceleration bumps. Wasn't able to get on the gas and execute. That is a nice, tidy line there. Does he get the better? Yes, he does. Seewer leads on lap 7. That all started from 3-4 corners back. The top right-hander in and out early. The next left in and out early. And then he somehow managed to hold a nice, tight line. Jeremy Seewer leads then on lap 8. And visibility now at a premium because he's not following anybody. Geiser will now roll up his shirt sleeves and say, you know what, I'll go back after the 61, see if I can close that gap down. Another fastest lap of the race that time around for Geiser, 49.4. Anyway, let's go down to Lisa. She's in pit lane.
Louis, Jeremy Seewer, he won the qualifying race yesterday. He just made a great move on Prado. He's looking really strong at the moment. What feedback has he given you after yesterday's race and about the track?
Yes, in Indonesia, Jeremy was ill, and he took some time for recovery. So he's healthy again back now. But on tracks like this, it feels really natural for him, and he really likes this kind of tracks.
Best of luck to the team. Thank you, Louis.
Jeremy Seewer certainly looks confident on this kind of terrain. Monster Energy Yamaha rider starting to pull clear. 2.1 seconds at the last split over Jorge Prado. $49.4 last time around for Geiser, a 50.7 for Prado. Those two, and there you see, Geiser is closing in on the Spaniard. Here is Romain Febvre. Febvre in 8th place at the moment, or he was. KRT, Kawasaki Racing Team. Normally loves this place. But a little bit off the pace yesterday and qualifying in 13th. And Jed Beaton is out of the race, the F&H Kawasaki rider. Not sure what's happened there, but He'll bounce back in race 2, I'm sure. Romain Febvre crosses the line in 8th place. Still working his way back to full fitness. I think we're going to have a 3-way battle here for second any moment now, because Prado and Geiser are being caught once again by Maxime Renaux, returning from injury. He's got his teammate Koldenhoff behind him in 5th place. Then there's a bit of a gap, 4 seconds to Mitch Evans. Another good ride for the Australian. Not too much happening here in this battle at the moment, though, although it is just starting to close up. And then just like that, Geiser, from out of nowhere, handful of gas, closes in on Prado, and then argues with the bank on the exit. And that allows Renaux to close in on the Slovenian, the championship leader. Remember, it's 125 points, the gap between Geiser and Prado, as Geiser makes a mistake on the exit of the turn. Be down to 123 if it stays like this. It'll go to 127 if Geiser finds his way past the number 61. But still, with 13.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, Maxime Renaux may have a final say in this as well. As Renaux closes in on Geiser, the question mark there for him on his comeback ride, well, does he have the fitness? Because he seemed to favour the qualifying race as he got caught and passed on the final lap by Paul Jonas. Will that replicate itself today in the race for points? Evans, here he is. Mitch Evans, his fastest lap last time around. The number 43 Team HRC rider from Australia, gradually working his way back to the kind of Mitch Evans that we're used to seeing. Up on the pegs, the teammate to Tim Geiser. Got one of those really deceptive styles, hasn't he? The number 43. Geiser is now up in the 2nd place. Wonder where that happened, actually. It must have been past pit lane, was it? So Geiser now in 2nd. So Jorge Prado getting caught unawares there. And now he's definitely under attack from Maxime Renaux. And I'm just looking at the timing here. 33. Yeah, he made a mistake, didn't he, in sector 1. Watch this here. Must have been round pit lane. Just came up short. Over on pit lane there, look. And he goes to the inside and then just bobbles. Geiser gets better drive and then moves into 2nd place. Jorge Prado, a mistake there at the end of pit lane. Got all that work to do again then. Oh, scrubbing his way. He knows he's under pressure now from Renaux. Listen to the noise. Fans on their feet here. The Swiss fans making noise for Siwa, who's 5.2 seconds clear. Looking at his 3rd race win potentially of the season, as Maxime Renaux, Grand Prix winner already this year in his rookie season in Spain. Looking to go after Jorge Prado as he tries to claw back some lost championship points, having sat out the last couple of rounds. Yeah, that big qualifying race crash, didn't he, on the opening lap in Germany. Couldn't go to Indonesia. Cuts to the inside. Is the move happening here? Couldn't quite get on the gas early enough. Wasn't close enough. Jonas now up into 16th place on the standing construct Husqvarna. So whatever happened to him at the start, 35 riders to get through this weekend. Right, Renaux cuts to the inside. Does he run it wide? Yes, he does, but he manages to hold on. He's now up in the 3rd. Prado down to 4th. Decisive move that from the Frenchman. Watch this here. Out on the gas early. I think Prado knew it was coming. He hoped to get to the inside. Wasn't able to do anything about the comeback. What we can't see there as Glenn Koldenhoff starts to close in now on Jorge Prado. Well, we can't see really from our camera position how loose that dirt is, how pebbly and marbly the ground is. Really got to have good throttle control around this racetrack. Koldenhoff closing in on Prado at the end of the straight. Spaniard just losing his rhythm here the last couple of laps since being caught by Geiser. Koldenhoff closest to us. He's in 5th place at the moment, 150.9 compared to the 153.3 of Prado. Steeper downhill than it looks on TV. Those braking bumps certainly work the forearms and the suspension. See how the big rocks now really starting to surface on the approach towards pit lane there. And a lucky moment, or an unlucky moment, for Koldenhoff. Lucky escape, I meant to say. Back end just went one way, caught the edge. Just managed to pull it back on the crest of the summit. Seward 4.8 seconds clear of Geiser. Lap times last time around. Seward 50.5. Geiser 50.001. As Koldenhoff latches onto the rear wheel of Prado. Where's his teammate actually, Prado? He's now up into 8th place. Fevre is down to 9th. Watch this, Guadagnini gets alongside and then cuts back across Romain Fevre. This is for 8th place. And Romain Fevre goes single, single, single. And looks like he's just cruising at the moment. So are there more problems for Romain Fevre with that ankle? Koldenhoff back onto the rear wheel again, just like he was a lap ago. Jorge Prado looks like he may have just regrouped here. And Ben Watson has found his way past his teammate as well. And Romain Fevre shaking his head as Brian Bogus closes in. And Romain Fevre looks like he's about to retire from the race. Watson now to 9th. Right, here's Guadagnini, and then all of a sudden, let's see, yeah, he's just definitely in cruise mode, isn't he? I think he may just pull in. Doesn't look like he's enjoying himself out there, Romain Fevre. Not sure if it's just a rhythm thing or if it's an ankle thing. But let's just focus on him here as he goes up the hill. No, he stays in the race. So another lap then for Romain Fevre. But again, just not committing to any of the jumps. So not sure what the issue is then for Romain Fevre. Whatever it is, he's going to have to ride around it. Doesn't look like he can attack anything. So Van Hoorbeek then up to 11th. Glenn Koldenhoff once more, still trying to figure out a way past the 61 of Prado. Spaniard not going to make it easy for him with 5.5 minutes to go. .13 laps complete. Seward 4.8 seconds clear now of Tim Geiser. Geiser half a second faster again. He keeps chipping away at the lead of Jeremy Seward. I don't think Seward is safe yet with 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Geiser, who has 80 career race wins, could be knocking on the door for win number 81 here. Maxime Renault out on his own in 3rd place, 5 seconds down on Geiser. Not a bad way to mark your return from injury. Evans in the opposite direction. Still hanging on in 6th position. Evans, 11th in the championship before we came here this weekend. Jeremy Seewer continues to lead, though. 4.6 seconds now, the gap. I'm sure he will be mindful of everything that's going on around him. Every now and again, you can get to a corner, have a sneaky look across, see what's coming up in the opposite direction. But solid ride for this from Jeremy Seewer so far. And the fans love it. Just under 4 minutes to go. A little bit of traffic ahead of him. 3:22, Pavel Repchak. Keeps out of the way. Here's Prado, meanwhile, holding on gallantly to that 4th place. Behind these guys, Koldenhoff in 5th place, Mitch Evans in 6th. He's only 5 seconds adrift. Valana in 7, Guadagnini 8, Watson 9, Bogus 10, Van Horbig 11. Ben Watson, where he was 8th and 9th in France. Another good performance inside the top 10 for the Englishman. Febvre in 12th still. He's got Guillaume behind him, and then Van Donnick, who's just been passed by the Swiss rider. This time, Koldenhoff gets good drive, gets down the inside of Jorge Prado, controls the inside as well, decides not to step up and go the long way round. Koldenhoff now into 4th place on lap 15. Catching a big braking bump there down the inside, Jorge Prado. And over jumps there as well, another mistake, looking over his shoulder. Is 5th place where it's at for Jorge Prado this time around, or is Evans going to close in on him in the next couple of minutes, plus 2 laps, of course? Similar lap times, though. So I would hazard a guess that Prado is going to be safe there in 5th place, but he led briefly. Tim Geiser in amongst traffic. Conrad Muse ahead of him, 4.26 on the Diga Procross KTM. Debut appearance in MXGP this weekend, the rider in blue. Just there. And Romain Febvre also on the slide. He's now down to 15th as Guillaume, Van Donnick and Jonas all go by the number 3. Mitch Evans. There's the 43. And that's Prado just ahead of him. And there you see the dust trail from the number 61. So all of a sudden, minute plus 2 laps to go, Evans will be fancying 5th then. Because lap times last time around, Prado 56.6, Evans 54.1. This one not done yet, is it? Got a 6.5 in Indonesia 3 weeks ago. The last round did Mitch Evans. He's currently in 6th now. Deceptively smooth riding style. You don't realise how quick he's going because he's one of those riders that makes everything look so easy. There's Prado in the opposite direction. So gap just still too big to bridge at the moment, possibly for the number 43. Feet up through that turn. Three laps to go. Jeremy Seewer hitting the line with just a few seconds to spare, but a 51.7 compared to a 53.1 of Geiser means the gap is now out to 6.7 seconds. So almost home and dry then for Jeremy Seewer, and on course for race win number 3 for the season. So there's Evans. Alberto Ferrato, meanwhile, up to 15th. So whatever problems that Romain Febvre has, costly for the Frenchman in the latter stages of this race. Here's Romain Febvre staying in the race. Don't even know where to begin in terms of what the issue is with Febvre, but he was shaking his head when he was in 8th place, 9th place. And Febvre in 16th position when he hit the line a moment ago. And keep an eye on his sector times, because pit lane is in sector 1. Does he make it past sector 1, yes or no, this time around? Jeremy Seewer getting ready to take the 2-lap board. A wall of noise greets him as he heads into the penultimate lap. Cleaner through there today than he was yesterday, where he was arguing with the front and the back end at times. But when you think about his passes to get to the front, that one in that bottom corner when he found his way past Tim Geiser, didn't catch, it wasn't expected, was it, Tim Geiser? Nice improvisation there of the line. Stepping up. Once again, the gap now 7.3, so Geiser just happy to sit there in that 2nd place. Renault another 7 seconds further back. It's been a fantastic ride this for Seewer. Grabbed a foxhole shot, but was pipped early by Prado and Geiser, but made 2 decisive passes that now see him leading the way. And leading since lap 7. We're now on lap 17, 18. So Jeremy Seewer then. 13 race wins in his career so far. 2 of them this season. Just over a lap to go for the Yamaha man, who is really in tune with the racetrack this weekend. And they love it. Final lap for Seewer. It's never easy riding at this level, but he's made it look easy with circuit conditions. You know, some people will say, oh, you know, the track, it's hard, it's slick, it's sketchy, this, that, and the other. Renault. Into 3rd place. Still dealing with Prado, who gets held up by a back marker there. So Koldenhoff then into 4th place. That was lap 15. And Prado is now finding his way back onto the rear wheel of the Dutchman. Hands full all of a sudden for the 259. Final lap. Nerves you don't need. But he may just have it under control. The Hoff. But then, having said that, hard on the brakes, right back on cue. Jorge Prado. Whatever the issues were a couple of laps ago, that just cost him a little bit of time, whether it was just rhythm, just a mental thing, who knows. But uphill for the final time, Jeremy Seewer. Wonder if he'll have time to salute the fans as he goes by on the final lap. Not yet, but Siwa crosses the line. He wins race 1. It's his 3rd victory of the season. His 14th career race win. Tim Geiser over the line in 2nd. 3rd for Maxime Renault. He'll be pleased with that. 4th should be Coldenhoff. And 5th, Jorge Prado. We wait for Mitch Evans to come through. Here he is now. Team HRC over on the right-hand side, number 43. Valandrin 7, Guadagnini cross the line 8, Ben Watson 9, and Brian Bogus will cross the line in 10th place. Van Horbik will be next in 11th, and Jonas. And then Guillaume, Van Donnik, Fevre, 15th, Paturel, Jacobi, Sterry, Brumman, and Kulas. Still waiting for Romain Fevre to come through. Here he is now, limping home in 15th place. He was as high as 8th, but he'll be disappointed with how the race ended. Again, not sure why, but Jacobi gets the better of Paturel on the final lap. But the winner, Jeremy Siwa, 7 seconds clear of Tim Geiser in the end, takes his 3rd race win of the season. And those 3 wins coming in the last 4 rounds. Race 1 in France, race 2 in Germany, and race 1 here now in Czech Republic.
V pohodě si to pohlídal, protože ta červená tabulka opět bude s velkým náskokem. No a máme ještě druhou jízdu, pokud bude chtít Tim Geiser tady svým fanouškům předvést to, co umí, tak se máme ještě na co těšit. Po zranění sympatický výkon Maxe Renault 959, 3. místo, to je pro něho rozhodně.
So the crazy fans here then in Czech Republic having a fantastic time. I think they're mostly Swiss, aren't they, making all that noise for Jeremy Siwa, our winner from race 1, who's gradually making his way down to the winner's circle to speak to Lisa Leyland. And here he is, right on cue. Your winner from race 1, Jeremy Siwa.
Jeremy Siwa, 3rd race win of the season with a nice move on Geiser. After yesterday's result and now today, clearly a good track for you.
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot better to be here today than yesterday. You know, today all the points so amazing, and yeah, I did get the whole shot, even though I didn't lead after because I was on the inside. So Jorge, and also I tried to, you know, line up Jorge in the 2nd corner, and Tim just took the opportunity. But after that, I made 2 really nice passes stick, and I could ride my own rhythm. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. And now up to the next one.
Good luck for the 2nd race.
Thanks.
Jeremy Siwa started the day 5 points behind Jorge Prado. That win means now he's moved into 2nd again. He's 127 points behind Tim Geiser, but 4 clear of Jorge Prado. So a vital win for Jeremy Siwa, that 3rd win of the season. Does it here at Lockett, did it in convincing style as well. Fantastic ride for the Swiss rider who dominates race 1 here. Official confirmation then, MXGP race 1, Jeremy Siwa wins it from Tim Geiser, Maxime Renault 3rd, Glenn Coldenhoff 4th, and then Jorge Prado rounding out the top 5 ahead of Mitch Evans, Calvin Valandrin, Mattia Guadagnini. Good to see Ben Watson inside the top 10 in 9th place, and then Brian Bogus in 10th. Jeremy Van Horbik came home in 11th, ahead of Paul Jonas, Valentin Guillaume, Brent Van Donnik and Romain Fevre. Henry Jacobi got the better of Benoit Paturel to take 16th, Adam Sterry 18th, Kevin Brumman and Harry Kulas on the Geben Van Venrooy Yamaha for the rest of the season in 20th place. Let's take a look at some highlights before we go anywhere else, shall we? There was quite a lot happened throughout that race. MXGP race 1 then, here in Lockett, Czech Republic. Jeremy Siwa up the inside, just grabbed the foxhole shot on the exit for the 3rd time this year, for the 2nd time this year. But Jorge Prado quickly into the lead as we came out of the first couple of corners. Geiser was there in second. Siwa was third. And then we thought Geiser was just pushing a little too hard, a little bit too desperate to find his way past the number 61 of Prado. And then he just left himself vulnerable. Siwa up the inside with that move on the Slovenian to move into second place. Stay, follow, no stress. That was the message. That's exactly what he did. Found his way onto the rear wheel of Prado, and then eventually on lap 7, a neat move that was worked way back 3-4 corners before, just got the better of Prado, and from there no one really saw him. Jed Beaton was out of the race though about mid-race, ref and H. Kawasaki. And then top of the screen here, Prado was there but then got caught for that second place for Geiser. Geiser then through in a second position. Maxime Renault then also closed in on the 61. He moved by for third. That's where he would stay. And then Romain Febvre was in 8th place, but then in quick succession, Mattia Guarini, Ben Watson, Brian Bogas and Jeremy Van Horbig all found their way through. He eventually came home in 15th place as Koldenhoff got the better of Prado on lap 15. But it was Jeremy Siwa who rounded out the final couple of corners victorious. 7.2 seconds over Geiser. Renault third, Koldenhoff fourth, Prado fifth. He now moves back into second place in the championship with that win. Foxhole shot then, and it was very, very tight. It looked like it was Jeremy Siwa. But was it though? Just by a nobble on the front of his tyre. And that was Jonas in amongst the melee. But Jeremy Siwa then, with his second Foxhole shot, and he turns it into a win as well. Jorge Prado on 12, Tim Geiser 4, Jacobi on 3, Siwa on 2, Watson, Villana and Jonas, Koldenhoff all on 1. As the pace just slows ever so slightly, let's sit back and enjoy some best moments from that first race, shall we? Some of the best moments from MXGP Race 1, where Jeremy Siwa coming home victorious and retakes second in the championship standings. We're going to take a quick break. Join us in 25 minutes time. When we return, it'll be for the second and final race of the season for the MXE Juniors, the 50cc autos. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Let's get down, let's get down.